Welcome to the end times, lads! This is day 7 of Surviving the Aftermath gameplay, and I'm just experiencing my first special event, where a bunch of meteors are getting all up in my business. We'll start a new game in a second, but for now I'll summarise this post-apocalyptic colony builder as follows. It's very easy to pick up and play, especially if you've played similar games before. Resource gathering is initially based around nodes that do deplete very fast. You repair the front gate if you want to access the world map and get new colonists. And it's very configurable for difficulty level. Surviving the Aftermath is currently in early access on PC, on Epic, and Xbox. I'm playing version 1.0.3, and it's by Iceflake, and published by Paradox, so thanks to them for giving me a key. Oh no! Not the whatever building that is! So when you do start a new game, you go through a list of things at the top here, choosing which difficulty you do want. Like, the one at the top is always the easiest, and the 3 at the bottom is always the hardest. So I'm going to pretty much pick the easiest ones just so I can show stuff off. I'll pick number 2 difficulty for that. Catastrophes, let's keep them... Well, let's go for a bit more common. Plentiful starting resources, 12 people to start with. Easy exploration, scattered bandit groups, yeah, whatever. And... yeah, whatever. So let's choose a nice flaming colour, yes! And we need a colony name, so... House of Good! Give me that. And colony motto, good luck, have fun. No, we don't want that. Be excellent to one another. Good. Strong. Go. So here we are. This map does seem to be quite different to the last one. If you'll have a bit of a look around. We have plentiful water over there. So get quite a large map. Mountains in the distance. Plenty of stuff, various piles of resources. And here is where our front gate will be, but not yet, because it does require quite a few bits of resources. And we can't do that straight off. We've got lots of homeless lads, 12 to be precise. Plastic, metal. Right, let's start by building houses. So if you build 2 emergency shelters, that will actually house all the colonists that we have. So let's place these nice and close to the centre. One of those, and one of those. Actually, let's place that a bit further back. And they'll hopefully get to it. The starting buildings we've got a bunker, which will store various random stuffs. We've got food storage, which is, well, dedicated to food, which we haven't actually got any yet. Fresh food, so fish and deer and whatever. Stockpile for building materials and stuff, and water for drinking, inevitably. Right, so 12 lads up here, 8 of which are carriers at the moment, in other words they haven't got any other job. Kids can't really do much other than go to school. We won't be building a school anytime soon. So, to speed things up a little bit, it is easy to pick up this game, because without even knowing, I knew the controls. It's usual sort of like, mouse is obvious, but 1, 2, 3 is about game speed, and space to pause, so like quite a lot of other games. I mean, I'm obviously most used to RimWorld, but it also applies to quite a lot of other games as well. It's a very streamlined game as well. It's not like really complicated. If you're looking for like, resources, like stockpile resources, and it highlights all the yellow things, and we just move the work area, and we can just place them above. Let's see, do it over here, so we'll get 4 different resources. We'll get concrete and wood. And anyone who's I think any of the carriers will now bugger off and scavenge. They do deplete very fast, like we've got 24 planks out of that, and only 17 concretes out of that, so they'll deplete very soon, and we'll have to move the work area, and all that. So we've built our first houses, nobody is now homeless, which is a very good thing indeed. And yes, they're all bringing all the stuff back to our stockpile, so we can actually start building other things as well. We've got plenty of stuff at the top. Right, I won't leave this going too fast. Right, so what do we need to build first? There's quite a few things. Let's just go through the menus very quickly. Roads, don't worry about that for the time being. Tents or emergency shelters for housing. Stockpiles, food storage and warehouse for storage, but we've already got plenty of those. And these are what will provide us with food. We start out with 63 food, thereabouts, but they'll deplete very fast. So it might be worth see if we can build a fishing hut on this... No, that's way too tiny. Any reasonably large body of water will do. Since we haven't really got one very close by, I'll go for a trapper instead, and put that near some woods. There should be some pigs around. Pigs? In there? Oh, yeah, let's put it there. Already one of the resource things have been depleted. Right, so they'll sort those out. Small concrete ruin depleted. I'm not sure where that actually was. It does actually show you exactly where it was. I think the work area was around here, wasn't it? So it was around there. Closer by, we've got a large concrete ruin, plastic, metal, more small concrete, planks and stuff like that. Right, good. So we've got one water well. We may need to construct another sooner or later. What else do we need? That's water well or water tower. Scrapper, recycler, sawmill and forester. Useful stuff, although to start with only really like the recycler and the scrapper is probably that useful. The recycler will get plastic and fibre from plastic deposits. So we will be building that. There's one really close by, so let's put that there. We've got to be careful not to build too many buildings too soon because we haven't got the resources, and also we won't have the manpower to allocate. We can only start to get more colonists once we've repaired the front gate, as I said at the very start of the video. So we do need to set up a bit of basic infrastructure first. So you can turn on a tutorial. It's a very light tutorial. It'll just guide you through basically exactly what we're doing now. Actually, let's see what's that. That's all done that. And we've already got one lad immediately assigned to this. We can deassign that. It's a bit of a stupid idea. And we can also add a second person if we really want this to get a move on, which we probably do actually. So let's get that lad involved as well, so that'll hopefully get things moving a little faster. Already another concrete ruin has been exhausted. But we've got 82 concretes at the moment, that's plenty for the time being. Once the wood has been exhausted, I will move the work area. So yes, recycler is now complete. Someone will automatically go and sort that out. And because I built it so close to it, I don't need to move the work area. 3 deposits depleted. Bloody hell. Let's have a look. I might move this area now because I think we've actually depleted everything now. I think there might be one left over. Let's concentrate on planks, I think. Because that seems to be... That will run out if we're not careful. Water is all very fine. Don't need to worry about that. We can't do this just yet. We do need additional stuff. Anyway, just quickly finish off looking through these. Tool shops, make new tools. We don't need to worry about that straight off. Tailor can be useful. Oh, we've got an event. Rabbit season. Duck season. 3 colonists explain that they've been working on a new kind of trap for hunting rabbits. And the group wants to send them outside the camp. So it's a risk, essentially. Give them permission to go, and randomly we may get good results or bad results. Having been gone, the group returns, each carrying 2 or 3 rabbits, plus 3 venison. For some reason, rabbits are now deer. Hooray! Anyway, let's move on. That was lucky. We have now food for days. So yep, day-night cycle, weather and all that, and you can see the progress of the day down in the bottom left. Now when I said earlier about the repairing the gate, you can do it straight off, I should correct myself, but you do need to make sure that you've got enough metal. And to actually get it working, it's not a case of like clicking on it and doing anything from there. It's a case of going to exploration and choosing the gate. Place it there, and we'll need 20 wood, 15 concrete, 15 metal, and 5, I think it's cotton or fibre, what is it? No, it's plastic. Ooh. So we don't have, the sort of the horrible little warning symbol there is because we don't quite have enough metal. But we will. We'll be getting it from either the recycler, which one was it? That's the plastics thing. From the building, which I've already forgotten where I've put it. Where did I put it? I don't think I built it yet. I need a scrapper. Now we can actually place it right here next to this other building. Somewhere. It needs to turn green on both accounts. Slightly awkward, this. You have to be on the other side, that's irritating. Never mind. So we'll be able to get metal from building that. Nice. Okay, so that'll sort itself out. We don't need to worry about that really, just for the time being. Although we are going to start running low on carriers as we assign lads to various duties. And we can only increase that by getting new people. The world map. This is the world map. Oh, this is different. In the last game there were mountains and things. Now we've got water. Ooh, interesting. Anyway, we can't do anything just here yet, but we can, once we've actually got some new colonists, we'll be able to go out and scout for new resources, and possibly encounters with bandits, which will be alarming for all concerned. Right, so we are getting busy building there. And I think also in the meantime I do mean to build a medical tent, which we didn't see when looking through the menus earlier. A medical tent, and there's also some decoration tab as well. So let's get on with that. Let's put that somewhere in the middle, really. That also needs... It said insufficient materials, but that's because there's a sort of like a coming and going with the whole metal issue. But that's fine. That's about to happen soon. There we go. What I could do is assign an extra person to help scavenge, because we do want metal as fast as possible. You always want to make sure that there are a few carriers left. You don't want to deplete that to 0. Right, okay, so once again we've depleted all the planks, so we do need to move the work area again. You can see we're getting further and further away, which is alarming. Let's get those 3 because they're closest by. We are again running out of wood quite quickly. Wood early game is very... Well, you burn through it, quite literally, lads. Yeah. Anyway, enough hilarious jokes. Let's build this bloody magical tent. We're still waiting for resources, so we still need 3 more metals. That will happen shortly. But we also, of course, need metal for the front gate, which is... Construction has started, and in fact I think this may even be almost done already. There is actually a lad down there, somewhere. Somewhere, bashing away. Maybe he's buggered off for the night. Oh no, he's running around. He's actually doing stuff. There he is! Hello, lad. Tonk, 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 tonk. Yay! The gate is here, and a wandering merchant, a colourful... This is a different event again. Right, survivors are seeking shelter. Who have we got? 2 adults and no children. Fine by me. Bringing tools and looks like seeds. I'm not quite sure what they are. Plus also some candy food. So Fritz, the scout, lad, whoever he is, he's going to be our lad who runs around exploring things, I think. Plenty of health. Not much leadership. Loads of attack, so he's handy with his fists. And also he heals very fast as well. We're definitely accepting him. Right, so now we've got plenty to do. We have a wandering merchant. Oh, hello! Best deals. Oh yes, your deal. Oh look, it's got a rubber duck on the top. It's the nuclear duck. If you got the tutorial on, all the tutorial messages pop up with a little honking duck sound, which is most cool. Anyway, let's see what he wants. Wandering merchant, a loon van rattles towards the gate, suspension creaking under the heavy load. Greetings and salutations, my good people, shouts the driver. He's got a saucepan on his head. Can I interest you fine ladies and gents with a bit of bartering on this lovely of days? The answer is no, because we've got bugger all. Yeah, he wants stuff that we haven't got. Well, I do have these, but that's all I got. So, he wants 24 planks, and he'll give me 4 tools. We've got plenty of tools. So, no deal, mate. Some other time, then! Bye! He's buggered off now. Right, let's go into that event. So, we do need to build another house or 2. Let's build another regular emergency shelter, because... Again, we may as well future-proof our situation. Place that there. We still need... What don't we have there? We don't have any... Oh, we don't have any plastic, but we are scavenging for that, so that should be okay. That'll happen eventually. Right, so matey boy there, with the star, he can go exploring. We've now built the medical tent. I'll only have 1 person in there. We've got 4 carriers, so that's plenty. Let's now... He's got a bandage on his head. Oh dear. So he's actually quite good at exploring. He's got 6 action points here. Other people may have less. Or maybe even more. Who knows? And what we can do, we can either go out and scout new lands, or we could actually stay within our means and explore this sort of town thing. He'll scavenge some beef jerky. There's 27 beef jerkies there, and he's been able to get 10. So, next turn... I say turn, but it's about half a day. He'll restore his action points and be able to drop off his trove at the House of God. And everything will be groovy. His action points, once restored, will generate a message in the top left, so you're not left checking all the time. And as I say, I think it's about half a day. So as soon as it gets to midnight, with any luck, he'll have more points to spend. This is almost done. And we'll no longer have homeless people flapping about the place. There we go. Everything's now built. and everything's ticking along quite nicely. Food-wise, water-wise, we do need another well. If you play the tutorial, it does make you build a second well quite early on. In fact, it's one of the first things you have to do. Let's build it away from the first well, because the area of influence, if you put them too close together, it's not a good idea. So we'll put it there, because that's quite close to our water lads. Let's also be building a little bit of decoration. Let's have a little torchy poos. And you can also build a Pathfinder's statue, which I think might be either for people who buy this in early access or possibly DLC, who knows. I didn't really pay that much attention to that because I didn't care. Yes, okay, so we've got action points, so first of all select him. Then he has to go and drop his stuff off at the camp. And that should automatically fill the gates with jerky. Those are the new survivors who turned up also dropped their stuff off. So that's automatically happened. Now let's go and maybe scout... I'm going to select him. Let's go and scout the neighbouring territory, which will take up all our action points. A museum! Research points, eh? No danger, so that should be quite trivial. Although I've never done that before, so that should be quite interesting. We've got a random event, an injury. That should be fine because you can just get bunged into here. Already, yes, Jacob has been bunged in here. That shaking, I think, is just basically a bug. So we can click on that and report it. Oh, no, this is just feedback. No! Stop that. Anyway, never mind about that. I'm going to pause the game because I've just noticed there is actually a... some colonists want to venture outside the gate. Hunting opportunity. Animal noises not too far away would like to go hunting. Dangerous, but the food come in handy. This time I'm actually going to decline it. Normally I always take the risk, but we've got so much food. And we've also got someone in the first aid tent. So I'm actually for once going to decline, and unfortunately that has made people miserable. But who cares? Oh, apparently they do. Right, okay, so our specialist is now ready to go on. I'm going to try and see what happens here. It should be quite interesting to see exactly what happens. So I've scavenged 150 out of... So there's another... We can have another go round on that, and possibly even another one after that, to get all the research points, or science points. And we could also go back to the jerky place, but right now what I need to do is... Well, I think I can probably pop into the jerky land on the way. But that will require more action points, so this is a slow-going process. Otherwise, it would just be like a very quick source of free resources. But he may come across trouble from time to time, like bandits and stuff. But let's not worry about that too much. Now, this go, I'm actually doing quite well for food. I've got the balance pretty good. Production for consumption 11. Okay, that's not good, actually, because that means we're losing 7 possibly every day. So what I'm going to do now is the food storage thing. I'm actually going to make it so that we can scavenge some berries on top of what we're doing. This is like an early game convenient thing that we can do. There we go. So that'll add to our food quite nicely, but obviously that'll deplete very fast. It's not sustainable. Right, so we can now move back to here. And you can scavenge to your little heart's content. I don't know what our carrying capacity is, but I think... Resources... it's recovering action points. I don't know if we still have it... If the resource points may be automatic, I don't know. Oh yes, it's gone up to the top. Okay, so science points... I keep on calling them research points. Did actually add to our totals immediately. So we don't actually have to take those home by the looks of it. But we do actually have to take the meat home. That won't be straight off it. That'll be yet another half a day before anything happens there. Colonists want to talk? A couple of your colonists have spotted some sort of vehicle stuck down a big grave. We might have some useful stuff, but it's dangerous. Well, let's give this one a go. The group lower one down. There's a 4x4 vehicle wedged in tight. Ooh, after some grunting and strong language, a pile of loot is pulled back to the surface. So this is a successful encounter. 10 clothing and 3 components. Good. Clothing is something that you, you only start with 3. You can build a tailor, so let's be doing that. To actually get, I think this is fibre turned into clothing, so that would seem to be a good thing to do. I'll put that as close to the thing as possible. The storage place. And then we'll get some delicious, delicious clothes. Delicious clothes? What? So the trapper I think, well, we've got 2 lads on the go there. What I might think about doing is getting some longer term food. Because you can actually plant a field. It's cheap as chips, but it takes a long time. Just going to pause that. Where should I put this? Feels like it needs to be somewhere. Well, it's not taking up too much space. Let's put it out front. There. The berries are depleted. But I think there's another berries in that world, in that area. Oh, the tailor's already done. Right. So, we've got jerky. Let's drop our stuff off. Right, good. Now let's go and scout that. Still got just enough action points. But it just... Oh! Oh! More research. So the tech tree is over here. However, it does require quite a lot of extra research. But communal eating? We can actually do this. Cookhouse and logging camp boost food production in the colony. That does seem to be a good idea. Elsewhere, energy production. We can make power out of solar panels and wind. Communal living. That'll make stronger houses, which will also help withstand damage. Security. General storage, who cares? And exploration. Can't do anything about that just yet. I think communal eating is useful because it'll make most of what we've got. That was quick. That was instant. That's handy. So now we've unlocked some new buildings. Good. Let's see where they've gone. Oh, cookhouse. Here we go. For which we'll need wood and... Is that specifically corn? Well, we are starting to grow stuff yet. I think maybe any food can turn into a meal. Alright, so we could do that. What else have we got? There's a sawmill. Can turn logs into planks. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we can... Okay, so we don't need to rely on planks anymore. That will be very useful indeed, and will be more sustainable. Good. Alright. Oh, bad. The first signs of a pandemic are upon us. Several staff medical facilities can nullify it almost completely, but if left unchecked, it spreads like wildfire. Pandemic comes in waves, infecting colonists. Untreated colonists will eventually die. So we need more water. We need basically more water and medical facilities, and ideally antibiotics scavenged from the world map. And that happens in 2 days' time. So it does seem to be like on this difficulty, we'll always get some random evil event after about 7 days. Right, hang on. Stuff's happening left, right, and centre here. This is one where we found an old landfill. Where we'll get... It'll cost us 2 tools and 2 clothing, which we can easily spare. And hopefully we'll get something good. We get 12 plastic and 8 parts. Nice. That was very worth it, I think. And then we can... Well, ideally we could go and scavenge for some antibiotics rather than research points. I think that's the sort of thing we'd probably need to do, isn't it? So let's try and scout that area. And we'll probably do... If there's nothing good... Oh, that's just bloody concrete. And also dangerous as well. But we can't do anything with him anymore. We've planted the field. Do we need to do anything here? I think we may need to. I think we've only got potatoes. Although, have we got that? Maybe. We shall see. Anyway, okay, so this has been a first taste of surviving the aftermath. Be interested to see what happens with this pandemic. I think that's just going to be chaos. As we saw with the meteors at the start of the video, it's just going to be absolute carnage. But yeah, we may pick this up again in another episode if people actually are interested in seeing this continue. But otherwise, yeah, so do check this out. It's on Epic and also Xbox if you're that way inclined. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to the channel to be notified when new stuff goes live about all the latest and best new indie games around. Check out the Patreon if you want to support us. Keep us going, finding these games for you and you, but not you.